Welcome guys, welcome back to WhiteFalcon Plays. Today we're checking out Xian again. This time we're going to go through the Explore Challenges. What are they called? The Sect Esoteric Inheritances. And we'll go through each and just show people how to do each one and the reasons for it. So let's start with the Spirit Sword Strike. So this is... Spirit Sword can make a robust single attack after accumulating chi. So you want to accumulate as much chi as possible and then do one big attack at the end. So the big thing about these, you have to look at what your opponent is doing. And so the big thing about this guy is he's got this guard of 2 stacks. So we go back to ours. We've got this card here that can do additional 2 attacks, but to do that we need 4 chi. So we could do this one and this one to do it. But if we look at where he is going to use this one here, I'll just show you what happens if we don't. So if we put all these here and say we do that, and that's kind of like, this is good, you're getting lots of chi, then you're gaining extra chi when you injure him, and then you do one big whopping attack. But if we do this, it fails. I can show you why. So you see that he gets the guard up at that point, so we don't do enough damage to take him out in one hit. Then he finishes us off after a couple of his hits. So that's not going to work. So the way we countered that is, if you saw there, we actually survived 1 round. So what we have to do instead is leave a little gap here, and that'll put a 3 damage attack in. And that just gives that one little stop to gain enough chi to do your big attack and hit him in one go. So this is what we have. Doesn't matter if you put these around each way. Same thing here, and this should finish him off. So we do that little attack there. This gets his guard up. We do 2 attacks with this one. We've got enough chi. Then we can injure him properly and gain all of our chi that we need, and then a single attack takes him out. So there we go. That's the order for the Spirit Sword Strike. Alright. Next is the Sword Intent. So Sword Intent is you gain intent for a single attack, or for, you can prolong that attack, but I'll show you that inside. But what it does is you stack Sword Intent, and then the next attack you do, full attack, even if it gets multiple attacks, gets that extra damage. So this is adding 4, 3, 3, 4, and then 100% increase to do whopping damage with this one. So the thing with this one is you have to choose what to upgrade. So all of these are already upgraded. So we can't actually put these on here because we don't have another one of these cards. So you have to choose what to upgrade. And I haven't really tried all of them. Like, one of the other ones might work, but I know that this one does work. So I put this on this one. Not what there, sorry. This one on this one. And then this in here. That makes it 6. So you get an extra attack here for your Sword Intent. Okay, so then you think this should be fine. We've got an attack and then defense, chi, stacking. So intent's not going to get lost. If we put this around this way, it'd be bad because you'd lose that 3 intent there. So this seems all good, but when you look at what's going on here, he actually will kill you before you can get to this point here. So what you have to do, I won't go through the fight, but what you have to do is you actually have to take out one of these. And he takes you to 1 life before you get to this point. So you have to have all the defenses in there. You could potentially swap this out for a chi, but there's no point. You need that 6 attack. So this is the this is the ultimate setup for this fight. So we'll jump in here. So it's just taking that one out and upgrading that Flow Cloud Chaos Sword. So we're building up our intent, gaining that defense. And then he'll take us down to 1 HP. And then luckily this is enough to finish him off. So there we go. That's how you complete the sword, spirit sword. What's that? Sword intent, sorry. Sword intent contempt. Alright, so now this is the infinite cloud sword. So cloud swords need other cloud swords behind them to activate the cloud on hit effect. So you can see this cloud on hit effect here. So if you put this one at the start, you see that doesn't activate because it needs a cloud hit sword to start with. So you'd think that this would go here so you could activate all your cards because every single one has cloud hit except that one. And then you would think that this one would go at the end here because for each successive cloud sword played before this card gain 4 defense, you'd gain the most defense possible. But because of his setup here, it doesn't quite work that way. So what we actually have to do is we have to put this one first to get these injured out. We need this one at the end to make sure that this gets through so we get that extra chase. Then we have this one here to give us the extra defense on the next round to give us enough defense there. Then we need chases all throughout here. Doesn't really matter which way we put these, but that's probably better. And with this setup here, you should be able to take them out. Let's see. They always kind of go first in all of these matches, so you have to kind of be one step behind and outclass them in skill placements or card placements. So he's doing a very similar build and you're both chasing as fast as you can. So he gains that defense, but we go straight through that defense like that. Then we gain our defense so he doesn't hurt us. And that's why we need the big defense, because this one here hits for a truckload. And then we just have enough at the end here to finish him off. So there we go. Alright. Alright, now we've got, next one up is Sword Formation, Offensive and Defensive. So, the key cards in this one are the Defense and the Rewind. So, we've got this main card here. So, do 0 attack, but add 1 attack for each defense you currently have. So, that's the big card in this battle. You've also got these. And these will re-trigger the previous sword formation card in the deck. So all of these are sword formations. So you could redo this card again. And the cool thing about it is you can put this here, which will redo that one, which will then redo that one. So it gets you a lot of value in the cards. So what you would kind of think is build up the defense, build up more defense, re-trigger this card to gain more and more defense, and then do a whopper right at the end there. But sorry, that doesn't seem to work because he does so much damage at the start that you have to put a few cards. You've actually got to move everything up by 1. And the other thing that doesn't work, you don't really get enough for this. So what you actually have to do is you have to re-trigger the Mirror Flower sword formation instead. Gain defense here and then re-hit him for twice. So this is the way I do it. I think there's multiple ways you might be able to do it. There does seem to be different ways you can do these challenges, which is pretty awesome. But this does seem to work. So let's see it in action. So he does decent amount of attack at the start here. We do a single attack so then we don't get hit by all this extra damage here. Now we can go build up our defense because he ignores defense for 2 attacks, which is good for us. And then we managed to build up enough defense here so he doesn't get through our defense. And we can take him out with 1 more small attack at the end here. It's a close one. Alright, very cool. So that's sword formation, offensive and defensive. Alright, the last one in the Cloud Spirit Sword Sect is Unrestrained. So Unrestrained work by playing more Unrestrained cards, you get more powerful. And there's a really big card in here, which is this one here, which is when you hit someone with an Unrestrained sword and you injure them, which just means take health off them, then you gain 45% of that damage as HP. So that's a key thing in this battle. So he's doing exactly the same thing as us. He's got exactly the same cards, but he's going first. And it looks like he gets this defense as well. So that causes problems for us. So we have to then rearrange our cards to better his. So what you actually have to do is you need to bring these to the front. We need to use as much trace as we can still. And this is going to be the best card to do that. But one of the cloud hits have to be redundant because we only have cloud swords that need cloud hits. So what we need to do is we also need to bring one of these back. Checking how we do it all here, but we do this. Sorry. So what we do is we actually have one of these at the start instead. So this lets us get 1 more attack in before he goes back into his big attacks and takes us out. We make sure this is at the start so we get a little bit of health from his attacks as well. Just lets us hang in there. And then we go through and do our standard attacks and get him at the end. So here we go. It's really interesting how just changing the order you do your cards, you can beat someone else with the same cards as you. That's going first, because normally going first gives you an advantage. So you see we gain a little bit of health there. We get to chase. And then he nearly takes us out here, but we just have enough to survive to get some life back. And then luckily his other cards don't attack us, and we go in for the kill. So there we go. That is Unrestrained. And that's the lot for the Cloud Spirit Sword Sect. Then we'll go on to the next.